Hey guys, this is MagolorRee and welcome back to another Flash Games video. So we have a bit of a problem here. Originally my idea was that I was going to stream every Sara's cooking class game out there, but here's the problem. I go through them so quickly that it's hardly called a video, it's just called a short. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play 5 of the Sara's cooking class games because there's so many out there. And I get them done very, very quickly that I'm just gonna put them all in one singular video. So that's how that's gonna work. So I have a bit of a story to tell. I have played Sara's cooking class games for as long as I can remember. Ever since I was in elementary school and I first heard of Girls Go games. Yeah, it's become a tiny bit of a subject of mine. I like point and click games where I just cook stuff. Like I said, the game is gonna, there's like 5 games that I'm gonna play today, and all of them are of different varying quality and age, so, and by that I mean some are a little bit dated than the others, but we're gonna make baked chicken, which baked chicken I really like. I love baked chicken. Alright, so we need a bowl, we need a cutting board. Now, I believe this is how they make panko breadcrumbs, which you smush them. You smush the chicken. You cut them up and then you grind them into a nice little panko bread crust. This is cooking advice from MagolorRee. Alright, so what we need now, we need a wooden spoon, we need a food processor, and then minced chives for some reason. It probably adds to the flavor of the whole thing. Alright. Put that on. Off. Boink. Okay. We're getting the hang of this. And shoop. And then you mix it together like that with the minced chives. And then there you go. You got your panko breadcrumb. Wooden spoon. You got mayonnaise, but why would she use mayonnaise? Yeah, whatever. I'm used to using an egg mixture that I made. Buttermilk. I love buttermilk chicken tenders at best. Buttermilk chicken tenders, I feel the best ones, like if I had to choose the best ones, would have to be Raisin Cane's. This is how much of a fat ass I am. Alright, so we need the chicken, and we need salt, of course, for our chicken, and then a spoon. And then, wait, why is the olive oil in a ramekin? That makes no sense! Alright, we gotta salt the chicken, turn them over, and then salt them again. We're making chicken drumsticks, I just realized. Boom. I actually made my own chicken breast before, like, but not with mayonnaise. I used panko breadcrumbs, and I used an egg mixture that I made, and then a flour mixture. And they still turned out pretty good. Like, I used a little bit of seasoning. Alright, and that's done. We got 5 stars with a score of 3,610. This is what I mean when I say the games are gonna have varying quality. Because, like I said, they look a little bit dated than the others. Alright, this is Baklava. We are making Baklava, which is, I believe, my poppy's favorite dish. Like, my poppy used to love Baklava. I never had a baklava, but I remember it's very, very hard to pull off. You got your pistachios, you gotta grind that up. And then boink. You put that in a bowl. And then you need cinnamon and cloves. And then your sugar. And then you also need a spoon. Cinnamon. And then cloves. Put that in there. You gotta mix it up all nice and good. Gotta make sure those nuts are covered. You can tell I'm very mature. Alright, so flour. We need a bowl. And this, I believe, is how we make the... Yeah, it's how we make the phyllo dough. Where's some water? Oh, water. Olive oil. Vinegar, which for some reason we need vinegar. And I don't know why we need vinegar, but don't question it at this point. Alright, so we got put egg. Just one egg. Vinegar. And a little bit of salt. You gotta mix that up nice and good. Make a nice little egg mixture. And then you make a little hole. You put the egg in there. Mix that dough up nice and good. And then we gotta knead it. Gotta knead that nice and good. Whoop. And knead it some more. So it's nicely rounded up. Oh. And then we need plastic wrap to put on top. Blink. And then, here you go. Refrigerate for 1 hour. Yep. And then we take it out. And then, for some reason, it multiplied. I think it's supposed to expand in size, but whatever. We need a plate. And then we roll that out nice and good. You gotta cut that. You gotta put each little sheet on here. We don't even need to worry about the rest of the dough yet. We can deal with that later. Alright, we need a tray. We need a cooking brush. We need phyllo sheets. You gotta put butter down. This requires a lot of butter. Nuts. And there we go. Last cut of butter. We need to cut this. And for some reason we're doing diagonally. Preheat the oven to 350 and then you turn that bad boy on and bake it for 35 minutes for some reason. Alright, next we need to make the syrup. I know I said syrup in a weird way, but you're just gonna have to bear with me, alright? The syrup. You gotta put that in there. You gotta put there. And, okay. Gotta put water in there so you make the nice syrup and you make it nice and syrupy. We'll worry about the stick later. Simmer for 7 minutes. Gotta stir it again. So it gets a nice flavor of the cinnamon stick. Turn that sucker off and boink. There you go. And you have to allow it to cool. Now we need a ladle for our nice, delicious syrup for the baklava. Cool for at least 4 hours. Because it needs to caramelize. And we don't even need a spatula for this. We could just go ham on this. And then we can put the pistachios on top that are toasted. I think they're toasted. And then there you go. You got your delicious baklava. It is. I have a score of 4,042 with 5 stars. Look at that. That is good. Alright, so the next one we have here is banana muffins. I don't typically eat banana muffins specifically, but I like muffins. Just not banana ones. Alright, so what we have to do here, we have the fork, and then we have the knife, and then we need a bowl and a cutting board. We need to cut these bananas. And we also have to mush them up so that way they are made into the nice muffin tin. Gotta fork them. You gotta mash them nice and good. Make it like baby food. Alright, so we need flour. We need baking powder, sugar, salt, cinnamon. We need a bowl. We need baking soda. We need a spoon. And then where do we get the... Why are the toasted walnuts in the fridge? That don't make a lick of sense. Salt, cinnamon, toasted walnuts. You mix that nice and good. We're gonna bind that with the bananas later. Mashed banana. We need eggs. We need vanilla. Why is the flour mixture in the fridge? There. And then you put the banana on there. Shoop. I should remember this now, but I think I made banana pancakes at one time. Like, and I remember not liking the banana pancakes, because, like, they're supposed to be protein pancakes, right? And I just thought they tasted awful, because I don't like banana. Alright, we gotta bake and serve these suckers. Gotta put the baking cups in there, we need a scooper, the batter, and then we need some walnuts, too. Put that on, preheat the 350. You need to put the little baking cups in there. I accidentally shrunk the window. We're fine. Alright, put the batter in there, put walnuts on there. Yes. You don't need to point that out. Put that in for 25 minutes. And then we need a plate to plate all these little dubious little muffins. That just smells so good. Got a score of 4,610, and it's a 5-star. I did pretty good, I say. See, now we're going back a little bit. It looks a little bit dated right here. But, barbecue chicken sandwich. I've made pulled pork sandwiches before, but Sara will teach you to make delicious barbecue sandwich. Well, I'm gonna give it an exam because I already played this a bunch of times. Marinate chicken pieces. Alright, so what we need to do, we need to put chicken in there, salt. We need that, and then there. Gotta mix that up all nice and good. There we go, there we go. That is 100% what marination is. Gotta grill these. And chicken. Chicken. Turn it. Turn it. Turn it. Turn it. Okay. Ready. 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 Alright, chicken is done. We gotta slice these suckers up. So that way... we're not even just like slicing them up, we're just kind of like... We're supposed to shred them, I thought, because that's how like a barbecue chicken sandwich is supposed to be. You're supposed to shred the chicken. Alright, we need a medium. We need to put the pan, butter, onion, spoon. Mix that up nice and good. Yeah, look at that, buddy. That onion looks cool, and now we ruined it. Soy sauce. I'm about to give myself some diarrhea from this. Tabasco. And then... what else? Padongo? Alright, the chicken. Now we mix it. And there we go. We turn that off and then put the pot on there. We're already making it. Serve the chicken sandwich? You betcha. Need a bottom bun. Lid. Delicious chicken. I prefer pulled pork than this, I will say. I like pulled pork. I got a B, and it's 2,340. Excuse you, but I think I did better than that, I think. Alright, so the next one we have here is bento box. I have never in my life had a bento box. But I always like the aesthetic of bento boxes because it's little meals that you can make, and you can make them into cute little animals sometimes, or just that kind of stuff. Or you can make it like differently themed. Like for example, we're gonna take this nori and we're gonna make it into little panda bears. Ain't that cute? Isn't that delightful? Put the little spots on there. You need cheese, which for some reason we put cheese on rice, and then we need crab to make the little cheeks. And that crab stick looked a lot thicker than I thought. Alright, we need nori, and then we need straw. And we're gonna make little smiley faces, I think. Yeah, put those on there. Yeah, they're little smiley faces. Alright, we are gonna make cucumber flowers. I normally don't like cucumber because it tastes very bland, but I mean, it's alright. Carrot! We're making little carrot stars. Or asterisks. I think that's the right term for it. I will say this, like, carrot has a weird texture for me. Especially if it's shredded. Like, in carrot cake and whatnot. Like, it just gives off that weird texture to it. But I always love, carrot cake, though. Just when the carrot is not very prevalent. Also, we are making cute little cheese stars and putting nori on it. You can't taste no nori. And then we're gonna make a little beak thing, or cat ears, I guess. I don't know. Well, it could be a beak. There's a crown. Smiley face? Now we got sausages. We're gonna straw all of these, and then we're gonna make little happy faces. Yeah. Put all of those right there. We're gonna cut the sausage. And cut them a little bit more down the middle. Those do not look cooked. Well, maybe once I get done cooking them, maybe. I remember my sister like putting spaghetti with hot dogs before. It's a little alright, I guess. I just personally never liked them. Alright, egg. Please don't explode. I don't know why, but like whenever I think of a boiled egg, I just hope they explode for some reason. Because there was one video that I have in my mind where it was like someone who tried to open a boiled egg and it just exploded on him. Like a bomb. Blue. Broccoli, we got lettuce, and we got blueberries for some reason. Panda, we got a little sauce bottle. Egg. Tomatoes, we got our carrots, we got a cheese star, and that's our little bento box. We got a score of 4,150 and 4-star. Well, it's the best we could do. I think I'm gonna take off right here because this was definitely a quick recording, but I think this is better as it is. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.